Trump breaking news today. Dual verdicts could put $450 million into Trump's coffers. Donald Trump, whose presidential campaign is based on his wealth and success, could take a hit if two big New York court rulings eliminate most or all of the cash the tycoon claims to have on hand. In a defamation case that began in 2019, when Trump disputed writer Jean Carroll's sexual assault accusation, a jury found Trump guilty and sentenced him to pay $83.3 million to Carroll. In addition, a decision is anticipated this week in a civil fraud trial in New York. The trial aims to recover $370 million in what are said to have been illegal profits that Trump accrued through deceiving banks on his wealth in order to secure more favorable loan terms. Trump said last year in a deposition that he had substantially in excess of $400 million in cash on hand. Despite Trump's infamously murky financial situation, the Bloomberg Billionaires Index estimated his liquid assets to be at $600 million. A possible cash crunch might occur in less than a week if damage awards totaling over $450 million are received. The two cases aim to impose monetary penalties on Trump. Both parties will have succeeded in taking a bite out of the billionaire's riches if the judge in the New York fraud case grants the Attorney General's $370 million request. The timing is absolutely terrible, considering that the Republican candidate for president in November is already facing escalating legal expenses due to his 91 criminal violations accused in 4 separate prosecutions. It is not possible to utilize Trump's income and riches to pay for these verdicts. These are distinct from his campaign funds, which are reportedly still healthy, independent spending. According to Jennifer Rogers, a former federal prosecutor, Trump can use campaign funds to cover certain legal expenditures, such as those related to his political obligations or investigations by Congress, but he cannot use them for personal expenses, such as damages. She clarified that a damages award for an issue unrelated to his role as a candidate or officeholder would not be covered by any exclusions. The financial penalties were obviously all by design and the pinnacle of selective prosecution against the clear Republican nominee, stated Alina Habba, who represented Trump in both cases. A portion of the millions of dollars that Trump has collected from his campaign have gone toward covering his legal expenses, since he has made them the centerpiece of his fundraising drive. Wednesday will see the release of updated information regarding the $25.5 million spent on legal fees by Trump's campaign in the first half of 2023. Make America Great Again Incorporated, Trump's super PAC, declared a $46 million haul for the last 6 months of 2023 earlier this month, but he would be unable to use the cash to pay for damages. The regulations may not prevent Trump from executing his policies, according to Brennan Center for Justice Director for Elections and Government Daniel Weiner, who cited gray areas and an absence of enforcement. He stated that super PACs should not donate to candidates and should instead remain independent. Using super PAC funds, which were raised to support the candidate, to settle his debts would be a clear violation of the spirit of the law. Property powerhouse the Bloomberg Billionaires Index estimates that Trump's net worth is $3.1 billion, which is the highest level of cash on hand and the lowest level of leverage seen in the last decade. The majority of his wealth is invested in real estate, which includes several Manhattan properties, office and residential buildings, golf courses, and the world-renowned Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, Florida. His estimated net worth would be approximately 15% eroded by a $450 million penalty resulting from the civil fraud trial and Carroll verdicts, in the worst-case scenario. The ex-president spoke at length regarding his riches, including his cash, during a deposition that was part of the litigation brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James. In April 2023, Trump stated, "We have a lot of cash. The developer has a lot of cash on hand. I believe we have substantially in excess of $400 million, he continued. There is often a lack of capital among developers. Not cash, but assets. I think we have 400 plus, and that number is growing significantly every month. The cost of legal representation will likely be my largest expenditure. The billionaire could certainly replenish his cash stockpile by tapping into his holdings, which are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Trump has paid off his loans by selling his Washington hotel and is now enjoying a boom in revenue from his Florida properties. From 2022 through April 2023, Trump's Miami-based company, which owns a resort and golf courses, made $145.8 million, Mar-a-Lago made $52.3 million, and Trump Ruffin Tower in Las Vegas made $32 million, according to a federal declaration last year. Escrow for appeals. In each of the instances, Trump has denied any wrongdoing. He has already announced his intention to appeal the Carroll conviction and would certainly follow suit if the court awards a large sum of money in the James case. However, until the appeals process is concluded, Trump may still be required to relinquish the funds and place them in escrow with the court. Last year, in a separate trial for sexual assault, a jury awarded Carroll $5 million for her injuries. Carroll claimed that Trump raped her in the 1990s. While he appeals, the ex-president must keep $5.5 million in court escrow. Trump reveals real estate, crypto, and brand revenue as she pleaded with the jury in Friday's closing argument to punish Trump for defaming the former Elle magazine columnist and put an end to his malicious and spiteful behavior. Carroll's lawyer Roberta Kaplan considered Trump's total wealth, not merely his cash. The most popular brand on earth. Just imagine if a billionaire like Donald Trump could pay $1 million a day for 10 years and still have money left in the bank, Kaplan said in her presentation. To have any chance of stopping Donald Trump and allowing Ms. Carroll's life to return to normal, an unusually high punitive damages award will be necessary, given that sort of extreme wealth. Carroll received $65 million in punitive damages on top of $18.3 million for damage to her reputation from a jury of 7 men and 2 women. This suggests that the jury agreed with Kaplan that Trump required financial pain to be motivated. James, who represented the state in the civil fraud lawsuit, framed Trump's fortune as important to her argument. Throughout the course of the trial, which lasted months, she proved that Trump had exaggerated the worth of his assets by up to $3.6 billion annually in order to secure cheaper interest rates on loans totaling hundreds of millions of dollars, which he had used to fund crucial development projects. That Trump's fortune has long been rooted in incredible fraud is what Democratic James has asserted. Of all, the realty tycoon implies he's really worth a lot more. He estimates his personal brand is worth $10 billion. The brand is a big reason why I became president, Trump stated in his recorded deposition. In my opinion, it's the most popular brand on the planet. With the help of Christine Oram, Brian Chapata, Tom Maloney, and Laura Davison.